Hi, and welcome back to another session of Business Studies with me, Vishwanath Sir, for the 11th Standard. Our quest towards excellence will continue. Our quest towards management, how to manage things, will continue. Our quest towards finding out more knowledge would also continue. How people have made it big. What is the mantra behind their making it so big? Why is it not achievable by all? There is a certain distinct characteristic in each one of them where they have made it bigger than the others. We have to appreciate that fact that they have made it big against all odds. Let us learn those inner qualities, inner points, which we can apply in all walks of life. As I tell you, that your business studies syllabus need not be restricted just to the textbook, but it has to be an all-round development. That's why we have taken up famous companies, famous organizations, famous people who have made it big against all odds. Our main intention is not to go to the glamour part of it, but at least to study that how they have made it big. Okay, so this is an underlying question for you. Okay, find it out. It's not about just telling that, yes, I've heard his song, I've heard that one song, I've seen his movie. No, it's not all about that. It's all about how they have managed their phases of life. Mind you, everything was not a straight road. Everything was not a flat road. There were bumps, okay, there were impediments, there were hurdles, okay, which they overcame in a very systematic and synchronized manner. So this is where you need to respect these people's characteristic and sentiments of how they made it big. And one such character, which we continue from where we last left off, is Michael Jackson. We go about in his very crucial year of 1980 to 1983, where he recorded the song with the Queen singer Freddie Mercury. Okay, he recorded it with the Queen singer, and the State of Shock, Victory, There Must Be More to Life than this. These recordings were intended for an album of duets, but according to the Queen's manager, Jim Beach, the relationship soared when Jackson brought a llama into the recording studio, and the Jackson was upset by Mercury's drug use. The songs were released in 2014. Jackson went on to record The State of Shock with Mick Jagger for the Jackson's album Victory in 1984. In 1982, Jackson contributed Someone in the Dark to the storybook for the film E.T., The Extraterrestrial. Jackson's sixth album, Thriller, was released in late 1982. It was the best-selling album worldwide in 1983 and became the best-selling album of all time in the US and the best-selling album all time worldwide, selling 66 million copies. It topped the Billboard 200 charts for 37 weeks and was on top 10 for 200 top 10 of the 200 for 80 consecutive weeks. It had 7 Billboard Hot 100 top singles, including Billie Jean, Beat It, Wanna Be Starting Something. On the 25th of March 1983, Jackson reunited with his brothers for Motown 25, Yesterday, Today and Forever, an NBC television special. The show aired on May 16, 1983 to an estimated audience of 47 million and featured the Jacksons and the other Motown stars. Jackson's solo performance of Billie Jean earned him the first Emmy Award nomination. Wearing a glove decorated with rhinestones, he debuted his mean walk with Jeffrey Daniel had taught him 3 years earlier, and it became a signature dance in his repertoire. Jackson had originally turned down the invitation to the show, believing that he had been doing too much television. But at the request of the Motown founder, Berry Gordy, he performed an exchange for an opportunity for a solo performance. Jackson's performance drew comparison to Elvis Presley and the Beatles' appearance in the Ed Sullivan Show. Anna Gaskell of the New York Times praised the perfect timing and technique involved in the task. Gordy described being mesmerized by the performance. At the 26th Annual Grammy Awards, Thriller won 8 awards, while Jackson won an award for E.T., the extraterrestrial storybook. Winning 8 Grammys in one award is a record he holds with the band Santana. Jackson and Quincy Jones won the award for the Producer of the Year non-classic. Thriller won the Album of the Year, with Jackson's album artist and Jones as a co-producer, and the single won the Best Pop Vocal Performance. Beat It won the Record of the Year. The Best Vocal Performance, Billie Jean won 2 Grammy Awards. The Best R&B Song, the Best R&B Vocal Performance Male, with Jackson as a songwriter and a singer respectively. Thriller won the Grammy for the Best Engineered Recording, non-classical, according to Bruce Sweden for his work on the album. At the 11th Annual American Music Award, Jackson won another 8 awards and became the youngest artist to win the Award of Merit. He also won the Favorite Male Artist, the Favorite Soul and R&B Artist, the Favorite Pop and Rock Artist. Beat It won Favorite Soul and R&B Video, Popular Rock and Video, and also the Popular Rock Singer. The album collectively won the Favorite Soul R&B and the Favorite Pop and Rock album. Jackson had the highest royalty in the music industry at that point, about $2 for every album sold, and was making a record-breaking profit. Dolls modeled after Jackson appeared in stores in May 1984 for $12 each. In the same year, the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller, a music documentary, won the Grammy for the Best Music Video long form. Described Jackson's influence at that point of time, the stars of radio, rock and video. A one-man rescue team for the music business, a songwriter who sets the beat for the decade, a dancer with fanciest feet on the street, a singer who cuts across all the boundaries of taste and style and color too. The New York Times wrote, in the world of pop music, there is Michael Jackson and there is everybody else. In 1984-85, Pepsi, We Are the World and Business Career. In November 1983, Jackson and his brothers partnered with Pepsi Company in a $5 million promotional deal that broke the records for a celebrity endorsements. The first Pepsi campaign, which ran in the US from 1983 to 1984, launched the new generation theme, including the tour sponsorship, the public relation, and the in-stores display. Jackson helped to create the advertisement and suggested using the song Billie Jean with revised lyrics as its jingle. On Jan 24, 1984, Michael and the other members of the Jacksons filmed a Pepsi commercial overseen by Phil Dusenberry, a BBDO, and an ad agency executive, Alan Poshard. Pepsi's worldwide creative director at the Shrine Auditorium. During a stimulated concert, full house of fans, pyrotechnics, accidentally Jackson's hair on fire and had his third rhinoplasty soon after. Pepsi settled out of court and Jackson donated $1.5 million settlement to the Brotman Medical Center in Culver City, California. It's Michael's late 1980s for $10 million. The second campaign, which covered 20 minutes and provided financial support to Jackson's Bad album, and 1988 World Tour. Jackson had his endorsements and advertisement deals signed with other companies such as LA Gear, Suzuki, and Sony, but none were as significant as his deals with Pepsi. On May the 14th, 1984, President Ronald Reagan gave Jackson an award recognizing his support of alcohol and drug abuse charity and his recognition with the support of the Ad Council, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Drunk Driving Prevention Campaign. Jackson was allowed to campaign to use Beat It for its public service announcements. The Victory Tour of 1984 headlined the Jacksons and showcased Jackson's new solo material to more than 2 million Americans. It was the last tour he did with his brothers. Following the controversy over the concert ticket sales, Jackson donated his share of proceeds, an estimated $3 to $5 million, to charity. During the last concert of the Victory Tour at the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Jackson announced his split from the Jacksons' Shake Your Body, and his charitable work continued with the release of We Are the World, co-written by Lionel Richie, which raised money for the poor in US and Africa. It earned $63 million and became one of the best-selling singles all time. With 20 million copies sold, it won 4 Grammy Awards in 1985, including the Song of the Year for Jackson and Richie as its writers. The project creators received 2 special American Music Awards honors for the creation of the song and another US for American Idea. Jackson Jones and the promoter Keane Cragen received special award for their roles in the song's creation. Jackson collaborated with Paul McCartney in the early 1980s and learned that McCartney was making $40 million a year from owning the rights to the other artists. By 1983, Jackson had begun to buying publishing rights to other songs, but he was careful with his acquisition, only bidding a few of the dozen that was offered to him. Jackson's early acquisition of music catalogs and song copyrights such as Sly Stone collection included Everyday's People of 1968, Len Barry's 1, 2, 3 of 1965, Die on Die Mookies, The Wanderer 1961, Runaround Sue 1961. In 1984, a court announced that he was selling a ATV publishing catalog comprising of publishing rights to nearly 4,000 songs, including the most of the Beatles material. In 1989, McCartney offered the catalog for $20 million, that is $40 million, 20 million pounds, $40 million. Jackson submitted a bid for $46 million on November 20th, 1984. When Jackson and McCartney were unable to make a joint purchase, McCartney did not want to be the sole owner of the Beatles songs and did not pursue the offer on his own. Jackson's agents were unable to come to a deal, and in May 1985 left talks of having spent more than $1 million and 4 months due to the diligence work of the negotiations. In June 1985, Jackson and Branca learned that Charles Koppelman and Marty Brander, the Entertainers Company, had made a tentative offer to ATV Music for $50 million. Coming to the phase of 86-87, Jackson's skin from medium brown during his youth grew paler, and the change drew widespread media coverage. Speculation that he has been bleaching his skin. Jackson's dermatologist Arnold Klein said that he observed in 1983 that Jackson had vitiligo, a condition characterized by the patches of skin losing their pigment and sensitivity to sunlight. He also identified dispored lupus erythematosus in Jackson He diagnosed Jackson with lupus that year and with vitiligo in 1986. Okay, so the cream would have certainly lightened his skin and made the application of the makeup very quick. He became friends with Clean and Clean's nurse Debbie Rao. Rao later on became Jackson's second wife and the mother of the first two children. In his autobiography and the 1983 interview with Winfrey, Jackson said that he had 2 rhinoplasty surgery, a cleft chin surgery, but no more than that. He said that he lost weight in the early 80s due to the change in the diet to achieve a dancer's body. In 1986, Jackson slept with hyperbaric oxygen chamber to slow aging and pictured himself in a glass box. The claim was untrue. The tabloids reported that he spread the story himself. It was also reported by the tabloids that Jackson took female hormone shots to keep his voice high. Facial hair wispy, proposed to Elizabeth Taylor and possibly a shrine of her, and had cosmetic surgery on his eyes. Jackson's manager, Frank DeLeo, denied all of them except that Jackson having a chamber. When Jackson took his pet chimpanzee Bubbles to his Japanese tour, the public appearance caused a stir in the media. They portrayed Jackson as an aspiring Disney character who befriended various animals. In 87-88, his album Bad was released and Neverland was also formed. In 1991-93, his famous album Dangerous had come out. In 1993-95, the first child sexual abuse accusations and his first marriage did appear. In 95-97, History, the album Second Marriage and Fatherhood. In 1997, label disputes and the Invincible, so he went into a lot of legal conflicts. In 2003, he won the 22nd American Music Award for the Artist of the Year. Later on, an anonymous surrogate mother gave birth to his third child, Prince Michael Jackson, nicknamed as Blanket. Then he had the second child abuse allegation trial and acquittal. The closure of Neverland's final years, and this is it. What he had created, where there were a lot of animals, all shut down. On June 25th, 2009, less than 3 weeks before the first This Is It show was to begin in London. With all the concerts sold out, Jackson died from a cardiac arrest. Conrad Murray, his personal physician, had given Jackson various medications to help him sleep at the rented mansion at Holmby Hills, Los Angeles. Paramedics received a 911 call at 12:22 p.m. Pacific to 1922 UTC. They arrived 3 minutes later. Jackson had taken propofol, lorazepam and midazolam. That was probably the end of him. And Jackson's memorial was held on July 7, 2009 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, preceded by a private family service at the Forest Lawn Memorial Hall of Liberty. Criminal investigations were on, but that didn't serve the purpose because we lost one of the greatest showmans in history, Michael Jackson. His legacy continues, his influence continues, his vocal style continues. He was a king. He was a legend. He was one of the greatest entertainers in history. We bow down to this great man, Michael Jackson, and try and embed a certain amount of quality which he had put in, okay, which would be very useful for us to do a certain bit of management studies. So, if you can't beat it, join him at Athira. Thank you so much. This is Vishwanath sir signing off.